let's just review this. Honestly, let's say you're Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that would be awesome.
That'd be great.
Let's say you're Justin Fields. And, 6'3". you fight your way to get to the transfer portal out of Georgia. And you wind up at The Ohio State University, where you have a stupendous career. Okay? You have a stupendous career. And, you throw the entire route tree in a college football playoff victory. He was dynamite, right? And then wound up playing Clemson, had a really good game, didn't win. But he was great. I mean, honestly, how successful was he at the Ohio State? He's the last Ohio State quarterback to beat Michigan.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. Oh boy!
I'm sorry, I lost the plot.
So doesn't he have that on you though?
He had a terrific career, and then he watches Zach Wilson and Trey Lance get drafted before. He had to be sitting there going, "What the hell is going on?
Hell going on?
That's tough."
And then the Bears trade up to get him. Yeah, all right. Cool. And then you remember Matt Nagy didn't just dive all in on him to start? Remember that? Remember
they have Nick Foles?
Didn't he say he came on this show, Matt Nagy, and said he wanted to Mahomes him? His plan was to sit him the whole first year. As if doing what he did in college, didn't come close to mimicking the NFL.
Especially at that college.
Exactly. It was weird. I remember I even told him, good luck with that when he said that on this show. Do you remember that? Where I basically said to him, I don't think you're going to be able to do that, Matt.
And Andy Dalton and Nick Foles.
Dude.
With Fields.
And he had to be just now, with I guess, all due respect to Matt Nagy, then, Fields did look like he needed some more marinating, to the point where even just this past year, he said Luke Getsy's, scheme made him feel robotic. Do you remember that was a huge to-do?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Because it was just wait a minute. Does that mean he saying that your read's here and your read's here? He felt too contained by a system that would make him go through reads, and it's obviously never that simple. He tries to do too much, gets hurt. Remember that? He held on to the ball too long and then blew out his thumb. Bagent came in. Bagent looked good. Then he comes back in and started playing like the Justin Fields we were all hoping to see. And in between that, he spends an entire January last year. And we went through all his Super Bowl interviews, including ours. Or just what do you think the Bears are going to do? Do you think your first 2 years are not enough and they're just going to flip you and start from scratch with Bryce Young or the guy who succeeded you at Ohio State? And he had to be sitting there going, I can't believe I'm dealing with this stuff. And now he's dealing with it again. This time around, though, it's more real. And I do not say this in any way, shape, or form. Do not read this in any way, shape, or form as disrespecting C.J. Stroud. But at this point last year, nobody thought Stroud would play the way that he did this year. Mm-hmm. I mean, and by the way, the way that Stroud played this year was, as Kurt Warner will tell you, it's not just good for a rookie. He was at the top of his game compared to all the veterans in the league. So I guess if that's the way Stroud was coming into the draft, in other words, like Caleb Williams, it might have been even that much more awkward for him last year, because it's just okay, we're going to take the guy that succeeded you. But instead, it was a conversation last year when he showed up at the Super Bowl. It was like Fields and Young. And I thought that was a no-brainer. You got to stick with Justin Fields there. Certainly, when the Panthers call up and say, we're going to give you a lot. And DJ Moore, we're going to give you a young stud receiver who can now have a chemistry with the guy you're keeping. Ryan Poles, Stroke of genius, and nobody thought that Young would struggle so significantly along with the Panthers that they would fire their coach in the middle of the season, although I guess we should have seen that one coming with the owner being the way that he has been so far with his coaches, and good luck to Dave Canales with that. But they would be so bad that we'd be back in the position of the Bears having the first overall pick, thanks to the Panthers, right? And so now, though, it's real. This one's more real because Fields is a year further along. Now, he could say, I put more out there for you to see. And he is a year further along with the fan base there in love with him. Mostly, I think. And he's also, however, a year closer to you really having to make a financial decision that is considerable to keep him. So, it's more real now because Caleb Williams is a guy who looks like he's the next Mahomes. That's a burden he's going to have to deal with as he's first played in his pro career. Certainly if it's in Chicago and he looks just like Justin Fields in his first year. But that's for down the road. For the moment now, that's the way I'm setting up Justin Fields having a conversation on the St. Brown Brothers podcast, courtesy of the 33rd Team site. I did not know, to be honest with you. Amon Ra and Equanimous had a podcast together. Great guest, though. Just in time, they sat down with Justin Fields when yesterday the conversation was that Fields has unfollowed the Chicago Bears on his Instagram account. So what gives on all of that? Hit it.
What's with the unfollow with the Bears? What's up with that?
Man, bro, I'm glad we're talking about it because why do people take social media so serious? Like,
but like, why you unfollowing the Bears?
This and that. Like, I still mess with the Bears, this and that. I'm just trying to take a little break. I unfollow the Bears and the NFL, bro. I'm not just trying to have football on my timeline. Like, I know y'all mess with a girl, EQ, especially you. Just because you don't follow the girl on IG, don't mean you're not messing with them.
That's true. That's true. That's facts. That's facts.
But you follow Luciana, right?
But listen, that's my girlfriend though. That's different. But I'm saying, like, when you're single, it's you really messing with the girls you don't follow more than the girls you follow.
You feel me?
Oh, like, so you're saying you mess with the Bears? You're saying you mess with the Bears more now that you unfollow them?
Man, it's not even like
okay.
It's something that I don't want to see in my timeline. I'm about to go on vacation. I don't want to see no football. And guess what?
Just get a little away from
every Bears post. It's either
let's see who you follow.
Let's see who follows. It's either draft Caleb. So it's like, bruh, man, I'm tired of hearing the talk. We want
like it's annoying.
We want Caleb. Like, it's just, bro, like, it's time to just.
So you're telling me you don't follow no football, bro? You follow.
I follow Ohio State football. I don't follow the NFL. I don't follow the Bears.
Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report.
It's basketball season. They're not posting nothing about football, dog.
Okay, let's take it one step at a time. I have to turn to the single men in the room on Instagram. Does any of that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You want to interpret that for me then? What does that mean? You unfollow, but you still messing with them? What does that mean?
Well, because, okay.
Do your best. Do your best. Skate that
sometimes
thin
you follow
line.
somebody and you want to like their pictures and stuff, but if you hit like, as we all know, your name shows up that you like them. So sometimes you might say, I don't know, put them in a bookmark folder or something. That way you can discreetly check someone's Instagram that you like without really it showing up that you've been on their page.
TJ.
But that's how does that have any? What's the analogy between unfollowing the Bears and he could still he's still checking them out? Is that the analogy?
Well, I think he gave you the answer. He doesn't want to see a bunch of should he be traded, but he does want to see some things on his timeline. Richard's different. You're a single male. He's going on vacation. He wants to see some things, but he don't want to have to listen and read about work. Okay. Guys, am I wrong? Or
no, I guess
I could be.
I guess he's saying,
makes sense. Yeah.
I guess he's saying what? Because on your timeline, if you follow the Bears, I
don't think the Bears per se.
I
would
follow
be posting
NFL
about
Network.
It,
Is that the reason why I'm getting other NFL?
Yeah, your
stuff
algorithm.
So
On
your algorithm be like suggested, like you probably like this, and it's like he doesn't want to see.
So Justin Fields is getting fed a whole bunch of.
He's
Instagram.
getting inundated with Should the Bears take Caleb? Should they trade him here? Like, what are the odds of Fields' next
I
team?
think that's
like,
understandable.
And he's just
but I
kinda
follow
like,
the Rich Eisen show. It's not. I'm not getting fed other shows like ours. You know what I mean? Like, listen,
but your
everyone's
job-
algorithm is
different.
if he just wants,
You're solid in your job. No one's coming in here to take your job.
no, I just gave this whole long setup where I understand why he would be particularly sensitive
but
to this. But it's like Bleacher Report isn't going to put out like even a post on this very conversation he had on the St. Brown Brothers pod.
let's see if they have.
Come on, but you know what I'm saying. It's like it's not like the most foolproof system. But then then let's dig deeper here. Whatever. No, honestly, let's just dig a little bit deeper here. Where he's saying the question is does he want to stay in Chicago? That question was put to him as well.
Do you want to stay in Chicago or what's up?
Yeah, of course. Of course I want to stay. To be honest, bro, I'll be trying to, like, with all the talk, it's hard to, I guess kind of just boom, be in one place, but I can't see myself playing in another place. But I know how that league is. Like, EQ, was probably the same way before you left Green Bay. But, I mean, if it was up to me, I would want to stay in Chicago. I love the city. The city's lit. The fans there, they're great. And the people. But it's a business. I ain't got no control over it. So whatever happens, happens. But I feel like the biggest thing with all this going on right now, I just want it to be over. Like, just let me know if I'm getting traded. Let me know if I'm staying, this and that. Because I like watching film in the offseason. I like watching the offense. You feel me? Seeing what they're going to do a lot and stuff like that. So, but right now I'm kind of...
You're from Georgia, right?
Yeah, I'm from Georgia.
What do you think about Atlanta? Like, you like Atlanta?
Atlanta would be tough. The only con of going back home is just people hit my phone crazy.
Yeah.
Wanting tickets to the game. But I mean, I think they got a lot of playmakers on the team, and of course Bijan. They got my boy Kyle, and then of course Drake too. They probably need one more receiver, but they definitely got some guys over there.
First of all, here's my first blush about that. I'm on Ross St. Brown. Asked all the right questions. Well done, sir. I knew I loved him for a reason.
Absolutely.
I'm on Ross St. Brown.
Right
top 10 receiver in the NFL, and doing a better job than some people might in our industry.
Now you worried?
Dude. 2, he's kept the blue hair, which is I'm all for that. Yeah. 2 and 3, this one I can relate to more than, unfollowing somebody or can still mess with.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get in the mind of a 24-year-old male.
By the way, I love how Del Tufo immediately gave it the check mark. You're all about the unfollowing, but still messing with. Okay, great.
Of course.
Good to know.
Hey, Rich, for the record, I just checked Bleacher Report. Their last 120 posts.
Hoops.
No football.
Okay, so hey, listen.
He was right.
Okay.
Right.
Impressive that you could add up the 120 so quickly like that just by scrolling.
It was a bunch of threes, and I could do that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I can relate to Justin Fields saying what he said there. That makes that one I totally get, because I remember it like 1 years ago, right around now, is when my contract was coming out with ESPN. Didn't want to go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Couldn't have envisioned being anywhere else. Couldn't imagine it. It was, and what I definitely wanted though was it for it to be over fast, and it went all the way up to the very end.
Yeah,
that sucked. So I totally get that. Love it here. Can't imagine being anywhere else. A lot of people say, "Well, that's a perfect answer, good answer. That stands pat." Totally can relate to that. 1,000,000%. Never thought I would be anywhere else my entire career. It was my lone identity. They drafted me, if you will, out of college. Mm-hmm. So, essentially, I get it. Wanting to be over fast. I just don't know if it's going to be, because they're gonna go through the combine. They're gonna meet Caleb and the other kids too, and they're gonna let this thing marinate, and they're gonna have them in for visits. I don't know, unless somebody blows them away with an offer, like Mike Tannenbaum on ESPN said the Giants are going to offer their next 2 1s and their next 2 2s and Kayvon Thibodeau. I'm like, wow, okay.
That trade.
Like, so, I mean, that would keep, I think that would keep Justin Fields in Chicago. You know, that would keep Justin Fields in Chicago. But I get it. I get it with Justin Fields feeling that way. But, I mean, the foolproof thing would be just to remove Instagram from your phone.
Right.
You know?
Well, he's on vacation. He's going to want to post himself.
And he's a young man. He's,
you know what I
get
mean?
it.
He's trying to see stuff.
I get it. Yeah, shoe videos. From the Rich Eisen Show.
You know he's got
No,
an
listen,
extensive shoe
I
collection.
get it, but it's just, it's part of a business. But again, like I said, just to go all the way back, the guy's just been killing it ever since he's put a cleat on for the Ohio State. And it just hasn't been good enough for some. And he made it through last year's crucible of what are the Bears going to do. This time around, I don't know if he's going to. And I think he senses it right now, and I think he wants it over, and he wants to go somewhere else. And where he goes, he's just going to have to apologize to the third and fourth wide receiver in the wide receiver room in Atlanta, where he says, I think they need another. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.